Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nickel City Mafia pregame report. Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills, round two. I'm Mike Thornton, and joining me, as always, my co-host Jake Podger. Jake, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Mike. We're back. We got football back on. We got the as this show is airing, we have the Cardinals and Packers game on right now. So I am keeping an eye on that. It's next to me right now. I got two TVs running with it, so pretty excited about that matchup as well.
Yeah, two top teams in the NFC. We got the only undefeated team in the NFL. We'll see if the Packers can take them down tonight. Who's hosting that game? Where's that game at tonight?
That's in Arizona. It's in Arizona. So, and they got their black on black unis, probably Halloween themed if they thought about it. I'm not sure, but pretty exciting matchup here. Obviously the Packers with three receivers out. So it's going to be interesting.
Big loss for them just in the past couple of days with JJ Watt going under shoulder surgery out for the season, I believe, right?
So he played last week with a dislocated shoulder. I think it was a dislocated shoulder, torn labrum. It was like three different major injuries, and he finished the game against the Texans. What a freaking warrior. I mean, you have to finish against your former team like that, but I hate that it ended the way it did, and pretty much ending his season. But
it's unfortunate for him, but he's just been injury prone it seems like the last 5-6 years. I don't think he's finished the season.
It's almost expected at this point now, and it's kind of sad because I mean, when he's healthy, that guy is right on top. I mean, the elite of the elite. So
yeah, I think he's the main reason, one of the main reasons why they're undefeated right now still.
Yeah.
Leadership, he's still a beast. So even at he's been in the league quite some time now, but when he's healthy and rolling, he's unstoppable.
He's a freak. Yeah, he's a freak of nature.
So
he really is.
We'll see what that does to the Cardinals. It's definitely going to hit them. It's going to hurt them a little bit. So we'll see how they stack up tonight against Green Bay, who's a pretty good team in the NFC. Well, enough of that talk. Let's get on to our show tonight. We're coming to you a little early. I apologize. We've been moving our shows around quite often lately. Usually we don't like to do that, but this week I am flying tomorrow. I have a long day. I'm going to be leaving LA airport at around, I have to be there at 5 a.m. So I have to leave Temecula at 3:30, get there. But by this time tomorrow, Jake, I'm in Buffalo, and hopefully I'm sitting with my son having some great food somewhere. So, hey, Troy, good to see you out there, buddy.
Oh, perfect.
Very
nice of you to join, Troy. I'm going to cheers you on that. I poured myself a nice little glass of bourbon here. Cheers to a nice Dolphins week for us.
I am shocked that he's showing his face tonight. I really am. I know he's a little embarrassed at the last game and basically how his guy's been playing, but it'll be great, Troy, to get your opinion on some of the things we're going to talk about here. So good to see you, buddy. So anyhow, before we get into the details of the show, let's talk about what's coming to an end here. Man, we are 3 days away. Jake, it's finally here. This is the last show that we're going to talk about the Josh Allen autographed helmet giveaway. 3 days left, and we're going to be giving out 2 bonus codes tonight. So stick around for that. And again, if you first time you're hearing about this, I don't know where you've been. It's been going on since the beginning of October, and it ends on Sunday around 7 a.m. on the Pacific time. So basically all you got to do is click the link in our description, put a kind act of service, tell us a kind act of service that you've done for someone. It could be something simple. You held the door open. It could be something big. You donated to a charity. You've been taking care of loved ones who can't take care of themselves anymore. You're a nurse. I've been seeing some amazing things, Jake. We have over 500 people entered into this giveaway right now.
That's incredible. And that's amazing.
All the actions they've taken is accounted for. Last I looked at, it was roughly around 2,900 entries. So there's tons of ways to get additional entries. The only one you need to do to get in is a kind act of service. Once you do that, a bunch of other things unlock and you're off and running. And every one of our shows through the month of October has had a bonus code. And some of them have had 2 bonus codes. You take a bonus code and you enter it into the giveaway. That's 5 additional entries. So not too late. Definitely get into this. You're not going to see a giveaway like this for some time. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button for us. Give us a like. Share us out there. Let your friends know about us. We do, I don't know, 3 to 4 shows a week. A lot of you, some of you were with us last night when we did our fantasy football show. I know Jake, you joined us in the channel. That was I was filling in for Rick, but that was fun for me. First time I'd done the show with Chris, and he's amazing, and Rick's amazing. But I had to fill in, next man up, and you might be in that position in a couple of weeks, Jake. We'll see. We're trying to get you on that show.
Mike, you pulled a Frank Reich last night. He did a really nice job filling in.
I appreciate it. It really helped having you guys out there chat and talk things up. So it was a lot of fun. And then our golf show's kind of on a vacation. Our golf show took this week off, and it'll be taking next week off. And just things going on. We all have full-time jobs here. This is something we do for fun. But again, give us hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you'll be notified anytime new content or when we go live with the show. We do every one of our shows live, and that's the beauty of it. You can actually get into the channel. And again, on the fantasy football show, it's amazing because a lot of people come in there and are like, hey, should I make this trade? Who should I start with these players? And Chris and Rick gave out some great information. And then Jake and I, we love it when we have all the Bills Mafia out there. And today we actually, the first one in the channel is the Miami fan. So
yeah, pretty wild. I mean, first, I guess he's drawing the sword right now, but we're going to end the battle pretty quick. Hate to say it, Troy. It's going to be a rough one for you Sunday, man.
I feel for you, Troy, but let's get into this. Let's get into the show here. All right. Injury report. Looking pretty clean on the Bills side. We know about Dawson Knox, broke a finger in his hand. He's going to be out not a finger, broke a bone in his hand. He's going to be out for another 2 to 3 weeks. We knew that, but popping up on the injury report, which was a surprise, was Spencer Brown. He's missed the last 2 practices. I guess he injured his back, and there's a potential that he's not going to play this week, which means probably Cody Ford comes back into the starting lineup, and we're back to where we were when we played the Dolphins the first time. So right. I would love to see Spencer Brown out there. I think he's been doing great. I want to see him continue to get that experience. I think he's a key guy for us down the road. So we'll see what happens there. And then Justin Zimmer is also missed practice. I think he is, what is it? What did I have on him? He's dealing with a foot injury. So we'll see. I would expect maybe Zimmer to probably be in the game. Spencer Brown to me is borderline. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, back is always tough too, especially for the tackle position. So I hope he can go, but if not, yeah, it looks like probably what will happen is Cody Ford will shift back into that guard position and then kick Darrell Williams back out to right tackle.
Yeah, I read something too where someone said, would Cody Ford potentially go to tackle and just fill in?
Yeah, that's where he started, and then
it?
they kicked him inside. So
okay, so that's an option too. We'll see what they do. I mean, he was replaced as a guard. Maybe he's better as a tackle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so we have both options. Both options are open to us, which is nice. Which is nice to have. It's nice to be in that situation, right?
Nice to have depth, Mike. We've never really had this much depth in the past, so it is really, really nice to have. And that's what makes us a great team right now. So I mean, we're kind of able to plug and play where we can. So it's a nice luxury to have.
Let's talk about the Dolphins. I look at this report and I'm like, oh my God, how's this team even fielding? How are they going to field the team out there, right? I mean, and everything in green on that slide, those are starters. So, Jason McCourty, he's on IR. Malcolm Brown, he's on IR. Michael Dieter is on IR. William Fuller, he's only played 2 games for the Dolphins this year. I mean, the guy has always been injury prone, but he's on IR. Devontae Parker's questionable. Greg Mance is questionable. Jerome Baker is questionable. Xavier Howard is questionable. Yep. Byron Jones is questionable. Those are their 2 starting corners.
2 starting corners.
I mean, are you kidding me? And then you got Brandon Jones, their safety. He's not their starting safety, but then you have, I don't know if I can even say this name.
Noah Igbenini.
Yeah, there you go.
It's tough to pronounce. It's a tough name to pronounce.
I was going to throw that to you anyway. Just like I'm going to throw Tua's last name. When you hear me talking about Tua, I will not say his last name. I can't say it. So
Tagovailoa.
Oh my gosh.
Tagovailoa.
Do you practice that?
I do. It's kind of like a thing. I just in the shower, you'll hear me say Latulale, Tagovailoa. What else? Valdez Scantling. There's a bunch of names.
So Troy, yeah, you're right, man. Look at this. It's unbelievable the amount of injuries you have over there. We've been pretty lucky, knock on wood. I
Brutal.
mean, up until this week, last week we just had one person on our injury list. But dude, what I'm seeing over there for your team is just rough. If any one of those corners missed, because last game the corners I thought did a pretty good job. To be honest, Xavier Howard, and I'll talk about that in a little bit because I have him as one of my key matchups, so I won't get into it right now. But man, I look at that and I'm like, they're already in tough shape, and now you throw this in the mix, and how do you compete? How do you compete? You're gonna have a great coach, and you're gonna have a lot of heart as a team to compete this week for sure. So let's talk about a little bit about the. Let's see. Let's go to the weather. I'm flying into Buffalo. I'm bringing some nice weather, although I'm going to get some rain over the weekend. But game time, they say it's going to be maybe
Looks
raining
all right.
in the morning. Game time, 55 degrees, possible showers in the AM. They're saying, and hopefully that doesn't roll in to the afternoon. And then winds are about 14 miles per hour out of the west. So all in all, looks like it's going to be a good weather day. I was worried about flying into Buffalo, what kind of weather I'm going to get. We are getting some rain. It's going to be in the 50s. I can deal with that. I just hope it doesn't rain on us throughout the game. But hey, maybe it'll be a good experience for my little boy Jonah. First time at a Bills game, and dealing with the elements. It might be kind of fun for him.
Where are you guys sitting, Mike?
Where are we sitting? I don't have the exact seats. I know we're not in the end zone. We're not at the 50-yard line. We're somewhere in between. And
Okay,
I
nice.
believe I don't know if I think we're on the Bills side. I think we're on the Bills side,
Nice.
hopefully. So anyhow, I had the wife take care of the tickets, and I just was excited to be able to get tickets and go to the game. So I'll be bringing Jonah and my three other older children with us. So we're going to have a pack of five with us, and we're going to stop by on the way to the game and stop at your office and
Heck yeah.
meet
Oh
you
yeah.
guys and check out the office. And I hear there's some good food and a tailgate.
Boss is
And
cooking up steak
oh
sandwiches. We'll be
man,
ready to go,
oh
Mike.
man,
Yeah, I'll be there
I'm
at 8:30.
excited.
Yep.
We got Ellen out there saying, "Big L, unleash Josh." Yes, I mean we're going to
Yeah,
talk about that. I
it's
mean,
time.
you look at that injury report with those banged up corners. Oh my goodness. And let's see. And then Troy's like, "I never do either with his name." And then Ellen's like, "Tua who?"
We might be asking that question Sunday. We'll see.
I know. I am worried
I
about
don't want to get too overconfident like I did
no.
with the Titans game, but I
I,
feel pretty good.
I've learned my lesson, but I just have to be a little more confident this time around.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So that's the weather. Weather's looking good. So what's changed? I mean, what's happened with the Dolphins since our first matchup? I've got some points here, right? They haven't won a game since week one. To me, Jake, this is the biggest shocker to me so far on the year. I had the Dolphins as a playoff team. I really did. I mean, based on what they did last year, they were a turnover or a takeaway machine on
Mhm.
defense, and they were pretty decent on offense as well. And here's a few other bullet points I have about it, and you'll see how it's changed. But so Tua missed 3 games after his injury that he suffered, sorry, at the hands of Buffalo. Epenesa's big shot to his ribs. And defense hasn't been anything close to last year's takeaway machine. Like I said, they're currently 31st in points allowed, 207 total, and they're dead last in total yards given up. 2,904 yards they've given up already to date.
Jeepers.
Their
Yeah.
offense is 28th in yards per game, averaging 307 yards per game. So, I mean, what do you think has happened to this team? And I don't think there was a ton of changes from last
No,
year. As a matter of fact, they
no,
made some
more
nice,
additions.
yeah, they
Yeah,
made some nice
just
ads with Waddle. Fuller has turned out to be a bust. Guy just can't stay healthy. If he had, he would have probably been a nice ad. But adding Waddle to Gasecki and Miles Gaskin, what do you think's happened to this team?
It's crazy, Mike, because you look at the roster and the breakdown is, I mean, they have some really nice players. I mean, half the team's injured right now, don't get me wrong, but really, you look at the receiving core. I mean, Devontae Parker, Jaylen Waddle, you got a bunch of guys. I mean, bunch of young studs, really. I mean, Mike Kasicki, who's had a really nice year actually this year. The last 2 games, he's had a really nice couple of games leading up to this Sunday. I just they can't figure it out. And they've actually been pretty close in a few of these losses, but it's just they're not good at finishing games. I think that's really what it comes down to. So I think you throw in the injuries, you throw in the not finishing games, and then maybe it is coaching. Maybe it's time. I mean, Brian Flores is definitely on the hot seat. I think if the Dolphins finish with a pretty horrendous record this year, he might be on the outs. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, even looking at their defense, I mean, they have some really good defensive players in Byron Jones, Xavier Howard. You got their whole defensive line. Christian Wilkins is really good. Emmanuel Agba, the linebacker, Jerome Baker, really good line. They're all their linebackers, really. Landon Roberts, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jason McCourty. I know he's banged up too, but you really kind of are puzzled just looking at this roster. I mean, they're loaded with some good young talent, and they just can't seem to put it together. And it's just a head scratcher to me. I mean, Myles Gaskin also not really living up to what he was last year. Even it just a lot of things are not happening, and I can't figure it out why. It's been a tough year for him though, and man, Troy, I'm praying for you, man. It's a rough go.
Yeah, Troy, I'd be curious if what do you think's going on with that team? I mean, you're a huge fan of Miami for as long as I've known. So, what do you think's going on? Let us know in the channel. So, yeah, I again, like I said, when I did the show with Troy. Actually, we did an AFC contender show, and then I did a follow up where I did a contender quick show. I did a quick recap, but I definitely had the Dolphins making the playoffs, and I missed the boat big time on that. So for me, that's
well, I thought the same thing. I really did.
Did you? Yeah,
it's puzzling.
It is. It totally is. So excuse me. So the biggest, letdown for me has been them. Probably the second surprise for me so far has been the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Right. Never would have thought the Chiefs would be sitting at 3-4
crazy
right now, and they got destroyed by Tennessee. So,
well, the NFL, it stands for not for long for many things. The players' careers and for teams, the window that these teams have to be great, which is really, I hate putting the Patriots on a pedestal, but it's so amazing that they were good for so long because it just doesn't happen. Teams aren't good for that long, so it's pretty wild to see. And the Dolphins, they had their opportunity, and it just seems like now it's hopeless.
Yeah, the landscape has changed so much in the AFC. I mean, I'm like, every week when I think I finally have a handle on who those top 7 teams are that are going to be making the playoffs, a wrench is thrown in. Like all of a sudden, the Bengals come out and blow out the Ravens. I'm like, where did that come from? I mean, the Chargers go into the Ravens. I thought the Chargers were going to beat the Ravens. No, they get whooped by the
smoked.
Ravens.
Yeah.
So I just can't tell who's other than our team. I feel confident. I mean, that we're going to be in good shape, but I'm telling you, if you were to ask me who the best team is right now in the AFC, of course I'm going to be a little biased and say Buffalo, but I got to tell you, man, Tennessee, what they did by beating the 2 AFC championship teams back to back is super impressive. Not only did they're getting healthier, because we talked about that as well. When we played against them, they were just starting to get some people back. Now they're getting healthier, and look what they were able to do against the Chiefs. So, and they have a team built for the playoffs. They have that run game, right? And that run game that just wears you down. And now they have 2 really good receivers. If they stay healthy, they've had issues with staying on the field. So I don't know. Any thoughts on like who you're thinking is the best team in the AFC other than our Bills right now?
Not many people are talking about the Raiders, and not many people are giving them enough credit. I mean, they responded to adversity with the John Gruden stuff. Rich Bisaccia has done a fantastic job. Everyone's been really touting him as, a head coach type of material guy. And I think he's, proving that he should be a head coach in this league. And, he's paid his dues. He's been an assistant coach for God knows how many years. But, man, the Raiders look pretty good. Derek Carr is throwing the ball. He looks fantastic. Hunter Renfrow, my guy. Even Foster Moreau, we talked about him a little bit yesterday in the fantasy show, Mike. Oh, my gosh. Brian Edwards is coming along. Running backs, I don't know what's going on there. Josh Jacobs is always banged up. Kenyon Drake, he's a solid fill-in. But they look good. They look good, too. That's another team to keep an eye out on.
Even on defense? You think they got the defense?
Defense is hit or miss. Max Crosby obviously is an absolute beast. And you got some good young players still. Even Jonathan Abrams, he's pretty decent. Casey Hayward, the corner, he's there. So, and then the specialists, Mike. We always talk about specialists. Both of them, Daniel Carlson and A.J. Cole. A.J. Cole is averaging the most yards per punt in the league right now, and Daniel Carlson is automatic. I mean, the guy hits every 50-yard field goal known to man. So they've been great this year. So,
So they're
the
right
Raiders
there.
are dangerous.
They're right there as well. Another big surprise. Didn't have them anywhere near a playoff contender, and now
We thought there was a collapse coming when they were 3-2, but they've won the last 2 games pretty convincingly, and I'm on the bandwagon with them as well.
Yeah, if our buddy Josh was on the channel, he'd be he'd be celebrating as well. He's a huge fan.
Oh yeah.
So Josh, if you see this later, you heard it from Jake. They're a contender, man. And you already know this. He tells me they're going to win every game.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go that far. I mean, they're a playoff team for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yes. All right. Well, let's get into some key matchups that we have this week, and we'll talk about yours first. You had on your key matchup list, you had the Bills running backs versus the Dolphins defense. So let's start there.
Okay. So first off, before I even get into that, Mike, I was going to tell you before the show started, I sort of mentioned it a little bit. I wanted to give a shout out. So a very nice personal thing, I guess. So Jake Dolagawa, quarterback, who has been around the league quite a bit. He was with the Bengals. He was with their practice squad. Then he got promoted to the active roster. This is back in like 2019. Came into the league. He's from Buffalo, from Hamburg, New York. My alma mater as well, St. Francis High School. Pretty cool. He just got signed by the Dolphins practice squad.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool to see because he's really, he's worked hard. He's stayed the course. Even in the preseason this past year, he was with the Packers, then he was with the Patriots, then he went back to the Packers. And the day before he was supposed to play in Buffalo, that last preseason game when the Packers played us, he got cut. So he never had an opportunity to actually play in Buffalo. But I'll tell you what, kid has worked so hard. And to see a Buffalonian, we always like to honor, and give respect to fellow Buffalonians. So I think we got to give him a little recognition. Really proud of him. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. And now he's with the Dolphins practice squad. I mean, he definitely won't be in Buffalo tomorrow, more likely than not. But it's cool to see, for sure. And then on the other side, on our team, Evan Kasarchik, offensive tackle, who is from West Seneca East. Mike, I know it was Seneca High School when you went there.
Yeah.
Went to UB. And now he signed with the Bills practice squad as an offensive tackle. So that could have been, in preparation to the Spencer Brown thing, potentially. I mean, you never know. But pretty cool to see 2 Buffalonians sign with the 2 teams playing this weekend.
What positions did you say he's playing for the Dolphins?
He's a quarterback.
Oh, he's a quarterback. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, as banged up as they are, who knows? They might be dipping into that practice squad.
And I'll tell you what, he's got an arm. He's got the physical ability. He's got the arm. He's got everything you want in a quarterback. He's like 6'7", 240 pounds.
Wow.
What's crazy is, so when I knew him back in the day in high school, he was a freshman and I was a senior. He was like 5'10", I think, coming in as a freshman. And he just grew. The kid, the last time I saw him, I was like, in amazement, just seeing how tall he got. It was insane. And he took the long road with it too. He went to Milford Academy, which is like a prep school more or less for college. Shady McCoy actually went there, and a lot of kids go there, then they transfer out to a bigger school. So he went there, then he went to Central Connecticut State, played there, set a couple school records, and then he wound up signing with the Bengals as a undrafted free agent in 2019. But pretty cool story, obviously,
cool.
from my area, from my high school and stuff. So had to give him a little recognition on the show, especially because he's with the Dolphins now.
What was his name again?
Jake Dolagawa.
Jake.
Good name too, Jake. Great name.
Jake, right? Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Yes.
How's his mobility, Jake? Can he scramble?
He's sneaky athletic with that for sure.
Cool,
strong kid.
Yeah.
Probably has a mean stiff arm.
Well, he's definitely got the size, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it.
Hey, before we get into your Bills running backs for the defense, I made people wait long enough for the first bonus code. So let's give that out real quick. We'll give you the first bonus code. It's all one word, Bills Mafia 2021. So Bills Mafia 2021. You need me to spell that as BILLS MAFIA 2021. Bills Mafia 2021. Stick around. We got another bonus code for you. You take that bonus code after the show, of course. Don't leave us right now. After the show, go put that bonus code in and you'll have 5 additional entries. And let's see. All right, Jake, let's get on to your Bills running backs versus the Dolphins defense.
Yeah, let's do it. So I feel like we talk about these 2 every week, Mike, between Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. Well, the first game against the Dolphins, both of them played phenomenal. So I want to see a repeat of that, especially if it is going to be a little rainy. I'm sure it's going to still be a little wet on the field condition-wise and whatnot. Hopefully it's not raining when you guys are there and when you're actually watching the game. So I definitely expect a big day out of those 2. I think we're going to get them involved early. and take full advantage of that banged up defense for sure. I think they're going to have both of them are going to have a big day, and we'll probably be arguing about who should be the actual number one back between Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. It just continues. So expect a huge day out of both of them.
Yeah, I mean, Singletary had his best day against the Dolphins. So he broke that 45-yard touchdown early in the game. I think that was him, right? Wasn't it that game?
Yep.
Yeah, it was that game.
That's right. And I think the game plan is going to be somewhat similar to the first game. It's interesting, obviously, because Tua started that game and then he went out pretty early with an injury too. So I'll talk about that a little bit too, our D-line versus their O-line. Pretty much, I mean, I think we're going to take full advantage of that offensive line. I see our defensive line just eating. Everyone's going to get a piece of the turkey on Sunday. I know it's a little early for Thanksgiving references, but I'll tell you what, everyone's going to get their candy on Sunday for Halloween. Hopefully AJ Epinesa plays and he's active. I don't want to see him be a healthy scratch again. I want to see part 2 of what he did the first time we played the Dolphins. So look to see him on the field. We're praying that he's out there because I want to see more of him. Obviously, we talked about that a little bit in our last show. And then Greg Rousseau, I expect him to have a monster day as well. So I am very excited for the matchups. Bills D-line is going to dominate on Sunday. I feel good about it. We're going to actually register some sacks. We're going to register some pressures, a couple turnovers. Jordan Poyer, one of my impact players, just foreshadowing a little bit. I think he's going to have a nice interception, probably off like a hit or something, like a hit on Tua. Maybe he throws a pass and it just gets tipped or whatever. But I feel great about it, Mike. Our D-line is going to have an absolute day.
Yeah, I have to think that Miami, after the whooping that Tua took, I mean, they're going to put in more schemes to protect him. We'll see. I mean, the pass rush has been a little bit of a letdown recently in recent weeks, right?
Yeah.
I think we had our biggest game against the Dolphins. And since then, I don't think we've been putting up huge numbers. We've got 14 sacks on the year in total. And I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me, but I feel like 5 of those came in the Dolphin game, maybe.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, we haven't been putting up the numbers. We've been getting there. We've been applying the pressure, but we haven't been registering the numbers. And I think that's going to happen Sunday. I think this is like a real prove it game for all the fans, for all the players. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see here. Let me fix your video here going a little weird on us.
Yeah, that was weird. It looks like a ghost or something.
Yeah, it does, right?
I'm a little nervous now.
Something just went across your screen. Hey,
that was.
Hey, Troy's asking if Jake can play defense. Your buddy, he was obviously he looked at the injury report that he's a little worried.
Yeah.
He's big enough, Troy. He's big enough.
Maybe on a Hail Mary or something.
Yeah. And then Slinky, good to see you again, man. It's been a while since we saw you. I think you actually did pop in early last night on the Fantasy Football Show. He said, what's up? I need the Packers to win tonight. So what's up with that, Slinky? Why are you needing the Packers to win? Let me know. Are you in some type of, what do they call it? Some type of...
A pick'em or...
A pick'em, yeah, where you need to have them win and you're going to win, or tell me what's going on with that.
Well, I took him too, by the way, Slinky, because I think it's going to be the Mason Crosby redemption tour starting today. He's going to kick a game-winning 50-yard field goal. So we'll see what happens. 27-24 was my prediction. Hopefully it happens. I don't know. I have it on over here. I really haven't been paying much attention, though.
And then Slinky says, Tua's not scared of ghosts and monsters. Tua is scared of Josh Allen and the Bills. So I do know one thing. He might not be afraid of Josh Allen, but he's afraid of the couple guys you just mentioned, Epinesa and Rousseau. Epinesa, who took him out for 3 games. He's probably going to be wearing some extra padding on Sunday. Even though the ribs are fine right now, I would put some protective vest on. I'm just telling you, Troy, make the call. I know you got some connections out there in Miami. Make a call. Get him some protection. He's going to be getting hit. And I don't want to see the poor kid walking off and missing the game. So give him a call out there. All right, good stuff there. Let me go to my key matchups here. So I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs against Xavier Howard. Now, in the first matchup, Diggs only had 4 catches for 60 yards, and he caught a 41-yard touchdown late in the game. So up until that point, Xavier Howard was shutting him down. And that touchdown that Diggs scored was really Josh Allen's magic, right? Josh Allen early in the game rolled out to the right, threw back to the left. So I don't really blame Howard for giving that one up. That was just, like I said, Allen extending the play. But I give that matchup, that first matchup to Xavier Howard. I mean, I feel like that's, 4 for 60 with one of them being a 41-yarder, and it was a contested. I mean, it was just kind of a jump ball anyhow on that play. So it was a tough play to defend, but and Diggs made a great catch. So anyhow, I'm expecting a big day. We've been saying this. I mean, I don't know where Stefan's been. I'm waiting for that big day, and I don't know what that big day is. I'm expecting maybe a 10 catch, 150, 2 touchdowns. It just hasn't been there yet. And I know teams are focusing on him. The book is out. They saw him last year. They know what the Bills like to run. But I don't know. I'm expecting Diggs to win this battle. Here at home, and coming off a bye week, he's going to be well rested. And we already know Xavier Howard is questionable. So he might not even play. But if he does, he's obviously banged up a little bit. So I'm expecting Diggs to kind of take this battle. We'll see how that goes. Any thoughts on that one?
I agree with that, Mike. I think we should take full advantage of the corners like we should have last week, even more so against the Titans, with both their starters just being banged up right now as it is. I think Xavier Howard, what was it, a shoulder injury or something like that he has? So attack him. I think go at him. Stephon Diggs is a physical receiver.
Yep.
I think he could win this matchup this week, and I think, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely do it. We've all been waiting for it, so I think this might be the week. And then I have my other key matchup is Jaylen Waldow versus the Bills cornerback. I know Jaylen plays a lot of slot, I believe, and he's been one of their only healthy wide receivers. He's obviously very comfortable. Tua is very comfortable with him, and he's been a nice addition to the Dolphins this year. Again, another surprise for me is why they're doing so bad like they're doing. But I expect him to kind of be a challenge for the Bills cornerbacks. Of course, I'm not sure who's going to get the assignment there. I don't know if they're going to put Trey White. If he's playing slot, I think it's going to be some Taron Johnson on him. And I'll talk about Taron Johnson a little bit. So, I mean, to me, that's one of the key matchups right there. Waddle is a special kid. He's obviously, there's a reason why they drafted him when he did. He's a budding star, and I think he's going to have a big career ahead of him. And like I said, Tua loves the kids, and they're familiar with one another. So big challenge for us right there. And he did okay in the first game against us, but once Tua went out and Jacoby Brissett had to come in, the game changed quite a bit. I mean, I feel like they had to change things around. So, any thoughts on Jaylen Waddle?
Well, it's wild. He's essentially their Cole Beasley, so he gets 1,000 targets a game. I mean, Cole Beasley, I guess, of last season because Cole's not really getting as many targets, but. Man, I mean, the kid, he's very special. I think he could be a really good player in this league as long as he stays healthy. But very shifty, good route runner, really good slot receiver. I think he's only averaging like 6 yards a catch this year, but hey, he catches the football. I think he definitely leads the Dolphins in catches this year as well. So always look for him to get involved very early, especially with those crossing patterns, those shorter patterns, pivot routes, all that stuff. So definitely going to be a fun one to watch. I think Taron Johnson will be on him. He'll probably be singled on him for the most part, but that's definitely one to look out for.
Yeah, and just a Big L out there saying they need to run a fast offense right away. A few quick passes to Beasley.
I agree.
We kind of talked about that last night on the Fantasy Football Show because you were debating whether to play Beasley or who was the other guy? I forget who it was.
So it was Melvin Gordon or Cole Beasley. And guess what, Mike? I'm starting Cole Beasley, and I'm starting him alongside of Emmanuel Sanders. I'm starting 2 Bills receivers in the flex tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm saying tomorrow. Yeah. Sunday. I wish it was tomorrow.
I wish it was tomorrow.
Holy smokes.
I don't blame you one bit. Yeah, I think Beasley has a nice game this week as well. But yeah, Waddle's something special, so we'll see how that turns out. Let's move on to some impact players that we both have. So on your side of the fence, Jordan Poyer, Emmanuel Sanders, and Tremaine Edmonds. So talk to me about those 3 guys.
Yeah, so we hit on the safeties every week. I think Jordan Poyer is going to have a big day. I mentioned, maybe he has an interception off like a deflection or a quarterback hit off of Tua. I think he's going to have a big day tomorrow. We're back at home. Jordan Poyer loves getting the crowd fired up at home. I think he's going to just go off. He's going to have a nice day. This year, he's got 24 tackles, a sack, and then 2 interceptions. And he always seems to come up with a big interception at a key moment in the game to give us kind of a momentum swing. So I think that's going to happen as well on Sunday. So expect a huge, huge day out of him. And then Emmanuel Sanders, I talked about him. I'm going to start him in fantasy alongside Cole. I think they're both going to have a great day. Hopefully it's like the Titans game numbers. We'll see what happens. But what's crazy to me is Emmanuel Sanders this year averaging over 17 yards a catch,
Wow.
which really he hasn't ever done in his career, not really since like the Steelers days even. I don't even know if he averaged that much in the Steelers days. It's crazy because last year he only averaged like 11 something yards a catch. He was more of like a slot guy. He wasn't a true outside receiver. So this year you're seeing him as like more of an outside guy. He's running those deeper patterns. He's explosive. He looks good. He's second in the team in receiving yards with like 427 or something like that, or 400. I wrote it down, 413 yards, second on the team in receiving touchdowns with 4. He just looks like the Denver Broncos Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he is unbelievable. And I tell you what, I mean, he has really been, in my opinion, the best receiver on this team this entire season. So really just such a gem that we found. And I mean, everyone knows that Emmanuel Sanders is a great football player, a good receiver. He's had a really nice career, but I don't think anyone expected to put up the numbers that he's putting up right now. So just super thrilled with him. And I expect him to take advantage of Byron Jones or whoever the heck he's matched up against. Who knows who it might be, because maybe all 3 of their corners that we listed on there don't even play, or they play in a limited capacity.
Yeah.
So big day out of him. I fully expect it. And I hope he does, because I need it for fantasy. I'm not doing so hot in that league. And then we got Tremaine Edmonds. I've been harping on this, and still I feel like people are still not understanding how much of an improvement this guy has made. So his numbers have always been there. He's always had a lot of tackles. It's just a lot of times he's making the tackle, 5 to 10 yards downfield. Now he's actually making some tackles in the backfield. He's making them at the line of scrimmage. He seems to be seeing the field a little bit better. He seems to be seeing the ball carried a little bit better. I think he's learning. He's using his instincts. He's relying on himself a little bit more. He's trusting his eyes. I think he's done a fantastic job in coverage this year. Even he does have an interception. I would actually like to see him rush the passer a little bit more, Mike. And I know we talked about that a little bit, just based on his size. Even blitz him up right in the middle.
Just send him right up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I don't understand why we haven't really done a whole lot of that. So I'd like to see that for sure. He's a force in the middle. I think he's really blooming into a nice middle linebacker. And like I said, that's not really his natural position. He came into the league as an outside linebacker predominantly. Yeah. So just tremendous improvement from him. He's unbelievable. And I think he's going to have a big day on Sunday too.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Poyer, can the safeties keep the streak alive? What is it? 4 straight games with an interception.
Yeah, technically the safeties. Yes, they do have that
let's
streak.
Keep that streak going. Emmanuel Sanders, great ad by us. Obviously Diggs is making that possible. Diggs is taking a lot of that coverage.
Sure.
And Emmanuel's just taking advantage of it, and he's doing it. I mean, amazing. Love the ad there. Tremaine, I agree with you. I was hard on him last year. I have seen the improvement, so I'm actually right there with you. I mean, he's finally getting. I still think I see him downfield a little bit too much. He's not getting off the blocks fast enough in some cases. But yes, he's making more plays around the line of scrimmage and showing his philosophy. I know he was injured early last year, so that part of it, when I was being a little critical, that play, I mean, it was his shoulder, of course. That's such a important piece for a linebacker to have injured. So I do want to mention a couple things here. Let's see here. Slinky, Tua normally doesn't throw the deep ball. You're absolutely right. That's what Jake was saying. He's going to be dumping that ball off all day to Waldow for sure. I'm sure the Bills will have a plan for that. And then I threw this over to Jake earlier. I actually hit you up with a text on this. Yes, there was the feed on Instagram is where I saw it. I heard rumors, Slinky saying, I heard rumors of the Bills wanting potentially Kyle Fuller. Did you see that as well, Jake?
I did, yeah. I've seen it on a few spots. Actually, I've heard a few rumors about that. I would love to add Kyle Fuller. I think he's unbelievable. Very surprise cut with the Bears. He signed with Denver. Hasn't really been, I mean, he's still playing. He's still a starting corner for them as far as I know. I think he started 5 out of 6 games this year. Maybe he didn't start the last game. Something weird happened there. But I think he still can produce at a high level. He's still a very good corner. I still put him in at least my top 25. So starting corner for sure. I think he's an upgrade from Levi Wallace as well. So I would love to have Kyle Fuller on our team. I don't want to give up too much for him, but I'd be okay giving up like a 4th or a 5th rounder. No big deal there.
Yeah, we'll actually, Slinky, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I don't have a slide up, but towards the end, I was gonna, Jake and I last Monday, we know the trade line's approaching. It's next Tuesday, and will the Bills make any moves? We talked about a few positions that we thought and some guys that might have been available in positions that we could use. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, a little deeper later in the show. But thanks for the question, Slinky. And Big L's agreeing with Slinky there, being a nice fit. Let's go over to the Miami Dolphins impact players for you. Kasich, Jerome Baker, and Xavier Howard.
Well, it's crazy, Mike. I mean, two of these guys are banged up on this list already here. So, and I knew that going into this, but I still think that they're impact players, and I think if they do play, regardless if they're injured or not, they're gonna demand some attention on the field. So I guess we'll start first with Mike Kasich. We'll start with the guy who's been really tearing it up over the last few games. So Mike Kasich, really, I mean, came into the league with a ton of potential. He was amazing at Penn State. Tall target, very tall, lean guy, good route runner, good hands, the whole kit and caboodle, very athletic player. And he had a decent rookie season. He looked good. And then I think he sort of disappointed the organization a little bit. He didn't really put up the numbers he was supposed to put up. And then last year, he had over 700 yards receiving, which is a nice season for a tight end. And then this year, started off kind of hot, dipped down a little bit. In the last 2 weeks, he's been awesome. I mean, 85 yards last week and a touchdown. The week before, he had over 100 yards. I'm a huge fan of Mike Kasich, and we got to definitely pay attention to him because the Bills have notoriously kind of struggled against tight ends in the past. I think we've done a much better job this season against tight ends. Even Travis Kelce, we did a pretty good job against him. Yeah. Premier tight ends, really going back to, I mean, you look at the Steelers, they have a couple of nice tight ends on that team. They were pretty much non-existent. Then you go to the Dolphins again with Mike Kasich. I forget what he actually had in the first matchup against us, but I don't think we let him up with too much. I don't think he had too great of stats against us, which is good. But I expect us to, really key in on him. He's an important piece to that offense, really one of the healthier pieces of that offense. Yeah. And I think Tua is going to look for him. So he could take advantage of him, and we'll see what happens. But definitely an impact player for them. And he's also, I believe he is the leading receiver on the Dolphins in receiving yards. So pretty crazy to see a tight end leading your team in receiving yards. It doesn't happen often. Only Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and a select few guys do that. So
yeah, Chris had some good things. Chris has had a few good things to say about him on the fantasy football shows. And one of the things he always says is he's a wide receiver playing the tight end position.
Yeah, essentially, yes. With some size, with some serious size.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
all right, and
Jerome
then
Baker?
Yeah, I'll go down to Jerome Baker. So Jerome Baker, fantastic draft pick out of Ohio State. They drafted him in 2018 out of Ohio State, like I mentioned. And he's been a really consistent linebacker for them. He's leading the team in tackles coming into this game, even though I think he left last game banged up. I'm pretty sure he got hurt in that Falcons game. So we'll see what happens. I believe it's a knee injury, and unsure if he's going to play. I think he was limited in practice today, but that would be a key player out if he doesn't end up playing on Sunday. He's just been a wrecking ball. He's been so good for them. He's been so consistent. He was actually, even last year, he had 7 sacks last year, 100 tackles the past 2 seasons. So he's producing for them. And he actually just signed, I think it was a 3-year, $39 million extension as well in the offseason. So he's a really key piece of that defense. And that would be a huge loss for them if he was out on Sunday.
Yep. Did we cover them all?
Xavier Howard, I think we kind of talked about.
Yeah, we talked about him. I mean, we know how good he is.
Talked about the matchup.
He is. Yep. I mean, everything I read, though, he is having kind of a down year. And I don't know what they're basing that off of. I think
it's just injuries. I mean, he has 2 interceptions this year. He's played in, I think, almost every game except one. So, I don't know.
Probably injuries. The team's just the team as a whole is just not.
The team has been
well,
underperforming.
So, yeah, exactly.
And when you look at last year, he had 10 interceptions. He led the league, and he was an All-Pro. So it's hard to match up this year to last year when they were actually a good team, and he was just a ball hawk.
Agree. So let's give out the second bonus code. Made the folks wait long enough. And this one's easy. Love our Bills, right? Love our Bills.
Nice.
We love our Bills. All one word.
I love it.
LOVEOURBILLS. Go enter that into the giveaway. 5 more entries. Come on, man. What are you waiting for? Let's go. All right, let's get into my impact players. So I've listed this guy a few times this year, and I think it hasn't happened quite yet. Almost. Taron Johnson. I think he's going to be, we kind of talked about him. I think he's going to get some, have to cover Waddle a little bit. And I just see him making a play. He's a
Pick
playmaker.
6, Mike, for
I,
you.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I see him like undercutting Waddle with a nice little, Tua trying to go short to him. He reads the play,
Yes.
takes it to the house.
Yes.
So Taron Johnson, and then AJ Epinesa. You talked about him earlier. Yes, I was so bummed. It started the Tennessee game so on the wrong foot for me. When I heard Epinesa was not active, I'm like, what are you doing? They're trying to bring the beef. I get it, but come on, we could have sat one other person or made one other person inactive and brought Epinesa. I believe maybe he could have made an impact, and if not, I want him getting that experience, man. We're gonna need him later in the year. He's looked great at times. He's looked great at times when he's on there. For the time he's played, I think he's got the most pressures or something like that. He's up there, but again, they're making him inactive. So I expect him to be active. I mean, he was blowing up the tackles against the Dolphins in that game. I mean, and I hope that they get him in there and he does the same thing. And then I'm gonna throw some love. I haven't been giving much love to Jerry Hughes.
I love this.
Jake, you've been defending him all year, and I'm like, okay. I looked at some stats. All right, he's got the most pressures for the Bills, and I'm like, but man, I want some of those to turn into sacks. Come on, Jerry, get your hand around that quarterback. Let's go. So I'm giving him some love. He was even on my slide. You saw that, right, Jake? I'm giving him.
That's right. He's the thumbnail. So
right, he's the thumbnail. So I'm expecting to see him at least finally put a sack up on the board, if not two. I think this could be a nice.
I like that.
Wow.
So
let's see. Between
nice.
Hughes, Epinesa, and Russo, I'm looking at
6 sacks.
I'm not.
It's going to be a day, Mike.
Oh my God. I don't want to insult the Dolphins that much because Star's going to get 2. So I'm not going to say 6 from the edge rushers, but I'm going to say 3 between them. Okay. I mean, one of them could have all 3 of them themselves, but I just expect a lot going on from these guys. And I know the Dolphins are going to plan. They're going to probably keep 2 players in the back to block, maybe kind of the scheme we've been playing where we have the running back on the tight end in the backfield blocking for Tua. So we'll see. I'm sure they'll be better prepared, but I do expect big things from those edge rushers tomorrow. It's time. I feel like we haven't seen any sacks in a while. So then over on the Dolphins, I've already talked about him. Waddle, I think he's a huge. I've listed everyone on the offense because I really believe their only shot at winning this game is if these 3 guys show up. I do believe Waldow, we talked about him enough. Myles Gaskin, they're gonna have to try to run the ball. They're gonna have to, and they're gonna have to establish that run to keep Tua safe and allow him to do some, play action and set some things up. We'll see.
Work the magic.
Well, we'll see how successful they'll be at that. But again, he has the potential. He has shown in last year, as a matter of fact, he had a very good year. So who knows? It could happen. I think they're going to have to try. And then Tua, of course, again. So I'm sticking with the offense for those impact players. They're all big impact players for the Dolphins. And to me, those 3 have to have the game of their life to compete in this game. Defense. Yeah. Well, of course, the defense has to do something, but these are the 3 key players for them, impact players.
I like it. I can agree with that.
All right. So I think that wraps up that. But so let's go back here and let's talk a little bit about what I was saying earlier. The trade deadline's approaching, Jake, right? Someone's already threw out one name. First of all, you think that there have been some moves made already. Do you see the Bills going after anyone? And if we do, what's that position?
Yeah. So another name I've seen mentioned is Avonte Maddox, the corner for the Eagles, which is intriguing as well. Like I said, I think I prefer Kyle Fuller. I would like to go for a home run. I want to see a guy that's kind of been a Pro Bowler, a really good player throughout his career. So I want to see corner. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind tight end just for the added depth. Jacob Hollister would be interesting. However, when you think about it, it's like we cut the guy, and the trade for him now is almost like, man, we could have kept him and not had, we didn't have to give up anything in return. So that would be kind of frustrating if we did that. Maybe it could pay off because he had a hell of a preseason for us. He knows the system. But as you mentioned, even Hayden Hurst is another guy that we talked about. for the trade deadline as well. And then Evan Ingram. Only problem with him is he can't really manage to stay healthy. He kind of has a similar issue as Dawson Knox. Ole Miss teammates must be something in the water there. I don't know. Maybe not anymore because Lane Kiffin's there. Matt Corral, former quarterback, or not former quarterback, future quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, playing quarterback for them right now. But we'll see. I think tight end and corner are the two glaring needs. I've seen people talk about defensive line. I don't think we make a move there. I feel good with our D-line. We have so much depth. If anything, I want to give our younger guys some more time on the field. I mean, between AJ Epinesa and Boogie Basham, I mean, those two need to see more time for sure. I wouldn't even mind sitting some of our veterans for them, Mario Addison being one of them. I do like Mario a lot. He was fantastic in Carolina. He's been decent for us. He hasn't been great, but I mean, he's a little bit older now into his career and everything anyways. And I actually listened to an interview with him in the preseason. He was talking about, predominantly just being on third down. I keep saying predominantly. I don't know why I keep saying that today, but for whatever reason on third down, he's just been a third down specialist. And he's been more of a pass rush guy. So he loved it because he said it's nice because I can get the rest. I could be fresh. And that's kind of been the story of our year with their defensive line. So I don't like us making any moves at the D line. My dad's saying he saw that the Bills are taking calls on Jerry Hughes. That would be interesting. I don't know what they're looking for in return for him, if they're just looking for some draft capital or what. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But corner and tight end are my two positions.
Yeah, I agree with you on the defensive line, right? Or even anywhere on the defense other than the cornerback situation. I mean, unless it was a stud edge rusher, a proven edge rusher, it'd have to be a big time player. I just feel like we got so much talent right now.
Right.
I mean, I can't even think of someone other than I mean, these are guys that would never be able to be traded, but like a Landry, somebody like that, or just a big name. And I just don't see that out there right now. So I think you're right on the defensive side, other than cornerback. We did talk about, so I agree with you on the tight end as well. Hollister, like I told you, I think either I said it last year or whatever, I had him as our starting tight end.
Oh yeah.
In preseason.
I think a lot of people did.
I was like, this guy is making plays. I like Sweeney a lot, so I think Sweeney will fill in just nicely. He's got great hands. He doesn't have the speed as Knox does, but he's not far off, and he's. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with Sweeney's play, and I think he's going to get some plays his way this week.
I hope he ups it, Mike. He's averaging 1 yard a catch right now, 4 for 4 for the touchdown.
As long as they're touchdowns, as they're touchdowns, that's all. He's just a touchdown machine. I don't know.
That's right.
I think we'll see something from him this week. He's finally going to get a shot there. We kind of went over running backs, but Chris kind of called me out on that last night. And he says, really, who are you going to take? I was saying Miles Sanders. He's like, what are you going to do with Moss and Singletary if you make the trade? I mean, maybe one of them's part of the trade. That would be the only thing I think of. But I just don't know if there's anyone out there.
And our guy Mark Ingram got traded back home to the Saints. So that
was another guy we talked about. That's a guy, for just a short-term loan, I thought he might be a good fit just to come in. He's got the experience, the leadership, tough runner. I mean, need to get a short yardage. He's going to do all he can to get that. But yeah,
the only other thing with running back, and I thought about this today, Todd Gurley is still in free agency.
What?
That is insane. You know what's crazy is that guy was like an MVP candidate. He was Offensive Player of the Year. This guy scored 20-something touchdowns only a few seasons ago. Even last year, he had 9 touchdowns with Atlanta. He must be really injured because he met with the Ravens. I know that. And they decided not to sign him. So it's crazy that he's still a free agent because he has the resume. He has the stats. He has everything you'd want. He's a good power back. He finds a way to get in the end zone. He would have maybe got that 4th and 1, a healthy Todd Gurley at least last week. Not saying Josh wouldn't have, but he didn't. So it's crazy that he's still a free agent. I was just thinking about that today. Like, what the heck is going on right now? He's just going to fizzle out like this. This is the end of Todd Gurley. Like, insane to me.
He must be trying. I mean, you're right. There must be something there. We just don't know. I'm sure he's tried out for teams. And
Tim says no. Tim doesn't like that one very much.
Tim doesn't like that one? All right. I was wondering what Tim was throwing out the end there for. I was like, what does that mean? Is that some what is that abbreviation for? But now I get it. Yeah. Jake only wants him because he drafted him on our dynasty team. Is that true?
All right. Well, this is so stupid, Mike, because we did so the guys that I'm in this league with are degenerate gamblers. It's a 12-man league. We had like 32 rounds to draft in this thing. So we have a taxi squad. It's a dynasty league. So you're keeping guys. It's a keeper league.
Yeah.
Your entire team you keep. And it was midway through last season. So Todd Gurley, he was still playing. He was still scoring touchdowns. So I took him late in the draft. And I thought, I didn't think he was just going to be a free agent this year. So unfortunately, I had to drop him because I don't have room for him on my roster anymore. And it's just crazy. We're 5-2 in that league, though, by the way. So we're doing all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, he has a point there, I guess. But I would like Todd on the team. I mean, if he was healthy, for sure, definitely would take him in a heartbeat. And I don't think he would demand that much money. And especially playing for a contender. There's a little spider right here. It's been Halloween all over the place. We had a ghost coming through. A spider over here. Holy smokes.
I think your wife came down when you weren't there and put something that went across your screen.
She probably did mess with me a little
I'm going to have to watch that again because that was a little creepy.
That's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
So, in my opinion, Jake, I just don't think we're going to make any moves. I just don't think it's going to happen. If we did, it would have to be somebody at the corner. We threw out another. Who's the other corner we talked about? I just threw out Xavier Howard. I'm like, why not? They're 1-6.
Xavier Howard, yeah, we did.
If they want to rebuild, I mean, but they're never going to trade in the division. I don't.
Right.
That's
especially
not
now. I mean, yeah.
Right. But so I don't know. I think there was a couple other corners. I can't remember who we talked about on the Monday show. By the way, if you watched the Monday show and you watched last night's show, you got 2 bonus codes in each of those shows. Just giving you a little spoiler alert there as we come down to the end of the giveaway. So we're at that point in time. I think we talked about. So in your opinion, trade going to happen or not?
I think we stay put. I mean, it's always a nice situation when the rich can get richer and we can potentially upgrade positional groups, which is insane to even think about because we're so balanced and so good at each position group right now. But I think we just stay put. We'll be all right. We'll be just fine. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. It's that time of the show where we make a prediction. I would love everyone who's still in the channel. Remember, we still got that $50 gift certificate from Amazon. If you hit it, and I'm not going to say it, but I'm even thinking of giving it out for someone who's the closest. So I'm not going to promise that. We're talking about it. So I would love you to tell me, first of all, you have to tell me who the winning team is. Should be easy. Although, if you want a little bit of, what do they say? You want to have the edge a little bit on folks, go the opposite with the Dolphins. You probably won't have much luck there. But anyhow, I want you to tell me who the team that wins and what the score is, and put that in the channel. And since it's early, we'll take these, even if you're not watching it live, put the comment in there, even if you see it after the live portion of the show. And I'll take it all the way up until, I'll say Saturday night, because I'm going to be super busy Sunday. So I'll take everyone who entered through Saturday night. So Jake, that includes you. Get yours in. I want to hear yours. So let's start with you, Jake. I love how you always have a play-by-play. Talk me through how the game's going to go and give me your prediction.
So we're going to start off by running the football, Mike. Like I said, we're going to have a nice balanced run game. Going to throw a couple nice passes, get Cole Beasley involved early. We're going to get some nice fantasy points for my team. Maybe we hit Emmanuel Sanders on a deep corner route or something like that. Run it in, pound it in, Zach Moss touchdown. That's how it's starting off. After that, we're going to get real explosive. We're going to throw a couple touchdown passes. Josh is going to have 2 going into the half. We'll be up like 21-3 at half. Nice, comfortable lead. And then we're just going to continue to coast from there. I think we actually end up winning. So I said 34-10, but guess what? The Bills, the last 3 games we've played Miami, we've scored 40 or more points. So I think we continue that streak.
Wow.
Spooky season. We're not going to have any curses happen to us. It's going to be a huge monster day. The Dolphins, I feel like I say this every week, they get a garbage time touchdown or something to get their 10 points. But the Bills, 44 points. We're going to get a safety. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have 42 points, and then they're going to do something stupid. We're going to get a safety. It's going to be 44-10 Bills. Monster day. Book it, Mike. You're going to be celebrating at Barbell afterwards. It's going to be incredible. I'm fired up. I can't wait.
Man, you just put that score in the channel, but you're right there with
I gotta type it in.
You're right there
right now.
Big Al, you're at 44-10. He's at 45-9.
I saw that. Yeah.
I feel like this is the Price is Right going on right here. I'm gonna up them by 1 point here. So good stuff there. For me, I'm a little superstitious, and every time I've been saying we're gonna whoop a team, and I didn't say we're gonna. Yeah, I thought we were gonna beat the Steelers pretty handily, and I felt I didn't feel that comfortable against Tennessee, but I did feel um, like we'd win that game, and we lost. So for me, I'm gonna give a little more respect, I guess. I think the Dolphins, it's an interdivision team. I know they're 1-6. Interdivision teams somehow play us tough. Everyone plays each other tough in the division. So I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna go with a 31-17. 31-17.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna have the shutout like we did in week 2. I think they scheme a little bit better. I still think and again, I think maybe that 17, that last touchdown comes in garbage time. So I think it's the score's closer than it really was or really is, one of those type of games. So I'll put my score in the channel real quick just so we can track it. I'm not eligible, of course, for the gift certificate. So I'm gonna say 31-17 Bills. And then
Mom giving them 20 points. That's insane. I don't know about that, Mom.
Mrs. Podger, yes. Thank you for being in the channel. I love it. We've missed you guys. Big Al and
I know.
and Mrs. Podger. I don't know. I know you guys are retired and living life to the fullest.
They're living life. Oh,
but we miss you when you're not here. So thank you for being on the channel. I appreciate it. Tim had mentioned, he says, hey, just play Breda. And you had mentioned that too. I think, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago, you said, we need to give him a shot.
We do. I think we have to get him involved somehow. I mean, we picked this guy up. He's explosive. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Like I said, he's almost like TJ Yeldon was last year for us. So, and he's actually faster and quicker and even more explosive. And he was with the Dolphins last year. So I think it could be a nice revenge game for him if he's active. Not going to count on it, though.
Yeah. So Troy must have left us. Probably had something going on, but I'll hit him up and say, please go put your.
I would like to see what his honest opinion is on the score.
Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of wraps it up. Again, Jake and I will not be having no post-game show. The next time you'll see us is who we playing after the Dolphins, Jake. Who's
Jacksonville,
out there?
I believe. I think
Jacksonville's, that's the Sunday game, right? So back to normal times.
Back to 1 o'clock games.
All right. So we'll have our pre and post-game show the week after the Dolphin game. And I think we're going to actually make the drawing happen Sunday morning. I mentioned that for the giveaway. We're not going to have a show to announce it, but we are going to reach out to whoever wins it. Hopefully we'll be able to get it out to them as quick as possible. And then hopefully either the pregame show or the postgame show will either have some pictures, some videos, or heck, if they have a computer in front of them, maybe we'll get them on the show. I hope that's what happens. We'll see. But anyhow, someone's going to be super happy to have this. I'm excited for this channel to be giving that prize out. I mean, right around the holiday season, whether it's for them or for a loved one, it's going to be an amazing piece to have in your house. So again, this is it. No more shows reminding you about this giveaway. It's now or never, and all it takes is a kind active service to get in. What are you waiting for? I said that.
So simple. Just go do it.
So simple, right? And then I already talked about the golf show. If you're looking for our golf show, it is on vacation for we missed it this Tuesday, next Tuesday. And so let me give you a date here when that returns. That will return on Tuesday the 9th. That'll be our next golf show. I do get back in time for our fantasy football show next week, so that will still be going on. Anyhow, closing thoughts, Jake?
So I really do think that we're going to come in pretty motivated. I think we took that loss personally to Tennessee. And, as I mentioned, Tennessee played their best football game in order to beat us. And we still scored 31 points. 31 points should win you a game in the NFL. So I think the defense is going to step up. They're going to be ready to play. I feel really good about the matchup. I feel really good about our offense. I think Josh is going to have a big day. Mike, you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to make that trip to Buffalo worthwhile, and the Bills are going to get a big win for you. So I am so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, same here for sure. So, anyhow, I think that wraps it up. I appreciate everyone out on the channel. Again, if you're listening to this, put your prediction out there. It's for a $50 Amazon gift card. Again, appreciate your mom and dad showing up. Great support. Who else was out there today? Slinky.
Best parents in the world.
Slinky. We got Tim out there. Is Tim I hope Tim's in the giveaway, right?
Tim will be there. I believe he got into that. He'll be at the tailgate too, Mike. So you'll be able to meet him.
Excellent. Will your parents be there?
I don't know if they're going to show up. My dad likes to have his chair. He likes to have his little setup. So maybe Monday, if we meet out somewhere, maybe we can get those.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. We did talk about that. So maybe Monday we can get something set up. That'd be cool. So yeah, thanks a lot, Big Al. It's going to be a long day tomorrow, but so worth it. At this time tomorrow, I'll be somewhere in Buffalo. So super excited. First time my older kids live out there, but my younger kid, Jonah, and Kayla, my stepson, and my wife, they've never been to Buffalo. So getting to show them, where I was born and raised is going to be super cool. And they're going to enjoy the food. I keep talking about pizza. I can never find good pizza out here. Now they're going to have the best pizza.
Where are you going to get your pizza from, Mike? That's my question.
So I got a little concern here. So last night, randomly, my cousin who lives in Buffalo had something bad to say about Imperial. I was a big Imperial fan. He said he ordered it. First of all, their prices have gone up. And again, I hope I'm not insulting anyone who works at Imperial, but he said the prices have gone way up and he was not impressed with the pizza. Now, he's lived in Buffalo all his life. And so that was a little disappointing. I'm like, good to know, because that was going to be my first stop. So I don't know, Jake, I have a lot of things on my list for pizza. There's a lot of good places. Carbone's. And
Carbone's is good. That's very good.
Bocce. Probably go Bocce.
Classic.
That might be the one I start with. Again, Imperial is going to be the first one. And then Barbill, I'm looking to go to at some point. And again, maybe that's Monday night with you, right?
There we go.
So we'll see.
I love
Let's see. How far is that from you? Is that far from you?
It's about a 30-minute. It's a quick 30-minute drive. It's a quick one though. It's you know what? It's an LA 30 minutes. Actually, it's not an LA 30 minutes. It's a quick 30 minutes. LA, I feel like I'm not used to that traffic. I was there one time. I don't know. That traffic's tough for me.
I always joke with my family back east. They're always telling me when they come out to visit, I'm like, hey, we're gonna go here. It's 30 minutes away. They're like, what? That's way too far. I'm like, are you kidding me? I drive an hour to work when I go to work. It's nothing. 2 hours is nothing. But 20 minutes in Buffalo or 15 minutes, if they got to travel that far, they're like, that's too far. We're not going.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it tonight. That's a little too
Unless
far.
You can go 60 miles per hour the whole way. That's it.
Big Al, thanks for the warning. Yeah, so I'm going to try. I got a list. If you ever go, I'm going to tell you guys something. There's a show. Go look at it. It's only 10 minutes. It's a recap of all the best foods in Buffalo. And it was my early days of the show. It's not, I don't have the fancy overlays and stuff like that. But it keeps picking up speed. Every week, people are probably coming into town and they're looking for the best food in Buffalo. And I think I did a pretty complete job of covering all the great food, sponge candy, Logan Berry, the pizza, the beef on wax. And I did it. And in the description, I put all these links from all my friends and family back in Buffalo. I reached out to them. I said, hey, where are the best places that you recommend? It's in the link. So, Jake, even if you don't watch it, just go check out the description and see if you...
I'm going to watch the whole thing. I started watching it. I'm going to finish
See if you agree. Don't watch the one... I don't want to say don't watch the one with my daughter. My daughter and I did a long hour on food. And she had some...
That's amazing.
But if you're in a hurry, which most people are, just watch the 10-minute version that I did and tell me if you agree with those links. And I always tell people, if you want to go to the Anchor Bar, sure, that's where if you're a tourist coming into town, you probably want to go there just to say, I was at the place where the chicken wing originated. But everyone knows in Buffalo, this is not the best place for wings.
Not where you go. It's commercialized. It's still not bad wings, but it's not.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Jake, you probably don't know the story, but growing up, where I was down on Exchange Street and Smith Street and in the Valley, I never heard of the Anchor Bar, never knew that was a thing. Of course, we just went to the place that was the closest to us. There's a pizza. There's a joke. There's a pizza shop on a pizza place at every corner. All the places in Buffalo have to have good pizza, else they're not going to survive, right? They're just not going to survive. So I never even knew the Anchor Bar was the place where the wing originated till I was much later in my life when I was out here in California. I finally learned that little piece of trivia. So I've never been to the Anchor Bar, and I don't know if we'll go there again because there's so many other places on my list this weekend. So your dad says, thanks for the warning, Mike. Yeah. I trust my cousin. He's definitely been there a long time, and he's not going to say something that he didn't mean. He doesn't want to talk bad about any shops, but definitely was disappointed. And I'm like, oh my god.
So I will say this about Imperial.
Yeah.
So since you've been to Buffalo, they've remodeled and they've gotten bigger. They've expanded a little bit, and it's really it is a very nice spot inside now. Like it's pretty cool. They got jerseys of all the Buffalonians. Patty Kane has a jersey and all that.
Oh,
And
cool.
it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's nice. He's got framed jerseys and everything. Nice bar area, nice seating area. So last time I was there, it was still pretty good, but I haven't had him in quite a while. So
Yeah, I want to say, and I'll fact check this with my son Brandon. I want to say he said the same thing to me because he lives where his mom lives is very close to an Imperial,
Okay.
and I want to say he told me the same thing. But I'll fact check that and verify.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thanks for listening, guys. We're just going on here rambling, but I like I said, I'm super excited to be there. So I will see you sometime this weekend. Let's go Buffalo. Thanks again. Get those predictions out there in the channel. And we'll talk soon, Jake. See you soon, man.
All righty. Go Bills.